Welcome back to the Galatasaray Show. We're back in America, Serkan and I, and it's been a week full of news. So we'll get right to it. We're going to talk about first our jerseys that came out, and I can't believe those are controversial, but I guess everything is. Then we talk about the schedule that came out today. We now know we're 5 weeks away from the season starting and who we're going to be playing. There's also controversy there. And then we're going to talk about our transfer or lack thereof, and all the controversy there. Serkan, have you noticed anything consistent in all the news that we have? Controversy. Galatasaray
That's the
fans,
right word to
despite
use.
winning 4 in a row, we're still the most unhappy people in the universe.
That's what keeps us motivated.
I don't know. I kind of like being happy myself. I don't like being upset all the time.
You-
That bothers me. So let's take a look at the jerseys. So nothing crazy. We've got the red and white one, kind of like we always have. Wouldn't you agree we should have the red and white, half and half? That's our colors.
Kind of like set in stone. That's our usual, right?
Absolutely. We've got a white jersey like we do most years.
Like,
I never
I don't
buy them.
understand.
I'll never buy them because I'm like a 3-year-old when I eat. And I can't have a white shirt for 5 minutes without it getting dirty. That's just me. And seeing how like 98% of your fan base are men, I'm shocked that a white jersey is an option. Like,
And black, I understand red and yellow. I just don't get the idea of having white jerseys.
every year, I know. It's kind of sports, though. If you look at baseball in America, for years, the home jersey was white and the road jersey was gray or black or some alternate color. But white was always a jersey. And then you've got the black and purple, which I love. I think it's very cool looking. People are complaining that the jerseys aren't creative enough or different. But my point is, we had this, when this called like Parchula, what they call this jersey last year? It had a Turkish name. Do you remember?
Parchula?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. So, this is made after the Galatasaray University door, all that on there. So this was neat. This was very different. They sold a lot of these. My point is, if you try to have a special, unique jersey like this every year, what happens?
Tell me.
It's not special anymore. If you have something special
Well,
every
it's
year, it
special
quits being
because they
special.
changed the location of the stars on the jersey.
Yeah.
Different, right?
Right. Well, then they said they were going to.
So we have
Remember
5
last year, none of
consecutive
us liked
stars.
this. We didn't like the one on top. We thought it looked cheap. Remember, nobody liked it. We want it like it is now.
But
But
it's
my
kinda
point is, if you do
subjective.
another special jersey like this year and the next year, you're just going to come to expect a special, neat jersey. You've
That's
got to
like
have a year off where you just have.
upgrading from iPhone 16 to iPhone 17.
Yeah.
Princess, super minimal.
Yeah, if you buy, absolutely. If you buy the new iPhone every year, what's special about it? But if you wait every 3 or 4 years, it's more
And
special,
you're
right?
gonna feel the difference, yeah.
Exactly. So I don't have a problem with the jerseys. They're standard, good-looking jerseys that we can all buy, and I like the black. I like the black is going to be a primary jersey with the purple. I'm a purple fan, so I like them. But yeah, I was shocked at the amount of messages I got on Instagram about people who didn't like the jerseys. But I'm like, they're not ugly. They're just normal jerseys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people are asking for radical changes, but that's not happening here.
No, they make stuff like what I'm wearing. The players just aren't going to wear it. And keep in mind that this time last year, when they released the jerseys, did any of us know they were going to make those throwback 1970s jerseys
No.
and they would wear them in games? No. So we know these 3 jerseys, this is just the beginning. Trust me, there will be more jerseys. All right. The schedule came out today, and I know we complain about technology, but isn't it neat we can watch the schedule draw on TV? I just think that's neat.
So we have troubles for in week 6 and an away game. Then we're playing with Fenerbahce in 9, and we're going to Besiktas week 13. I like this fixture. In the second half of the season, we'll play 2 of our derby games at home.
I agree 100%. And I'm going to go back to the controversy. I feel like some of these reporters in Turkey invent stories just to have something to talk about. Like they're saying that Fenerbahce met with the TFF and they promised them that they'd have the home game. And I look at the schedule, and didn't we play Fenerbahce at home in the second half of the season last year?
Believe in having a good or bad fixture, like people do. Fix a fixture. You play
But
home,
didn't
then
we
you
play
play away in the second half.
right? But didn't we play Fenerbahce at home in the second half of the season last year?
Yeah, we did.
So wouldn't it make sense that the next season that would be reversed?
50%, right?
Well, it should just be like that every year. We
Well,
should play them in the first half one
so
year, the second half the next year.
of the board members of Fenerbahce, I forgot his name, Brock something, Maitland after the fixture draw today and said something like injustice of fixture in the past, and we ended that today. I was like, what basis for this claim?
I I read the same thing. The only injustice in the fixtures is the fact that Fenerbahce couldn't win enough of them. That was the only
We picked the
injustice.
last ball in last year's fixture draw. At this point, you're either super ignorant or deliberately pushing that statement to deceive your fans.
Mhm.
You're
Yes.
hiding behind your failure. Seem to learn from their mistakes. That's what's happening. Making a
That they're
statement
just
like
trying to
this,
gin they're just trying to gin it up. I've
yeah.
got to tell you, in Vancouver, in Istanbul, I've yet to meet a rude Fenerbahce fan. I've yet to meet a Fenerbahce fan who recognized me and came up and said mean things to me. They're all nice people. We all get along. It's the people that work for the clubs and the media that they gin up and just tell them stuff to get them all agitated.
Are you
Like
going to fall for this statement?
no, this statement is stupid.
Right. That's what I'm
Like
trying to say.
yeah, the fixtures are the fixtures, and you're exactly right. I would rather have 2 of my derbies in the second half of the season when it really matters. Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
wonder what their next excuse is going to look like.
I don't know. But I will tell you, I love the fact that we're going to Erzurum is it the second fixture? Second week of the
The
season?
second game, it's early in the season, so we're not going there in December. We're not going there in February. That's the fixture, I'm telling you. I like it.
I did too. And I think I know when I'm going to Istanbul, October, because Fenerbahce at home, and somewhere right around there is going to be a Champions League home game.
Definitely.
And then you go to Konya, and then you've got back-to-back home games. So if you are in Istanbul, you can go to a Champions League game, the Derby, and 2 home games all in a month.
Mm.
So that'd be the time to go. All right, so now we got the jerseys we're going to wear in the games. Ding! We know who we're going to be playing and when the games are.
It's going
We
to be
just don't
wearing
know
this jersey.
who's going to be wearing the jerseys. Yes. So I went back and looked. Today is the 9th. On June the 10th last year is when we transferred Sane. So June the 10th, Sane came last year. So I want you to start. There's much unrest in Lion Land about the transfers or lack thereof. When you see the list, Besiktas has transferred like 2 teams worth of people. Fenerbahce continues to transfer foreign people. They now have like 20, I think, on their team.
It's more than 20.
Yeah.
It's like
So
23 or something with the new transfers.
So it's kind of going backwards. I would think you need to sell some of these people before you bring them in, but they're saying be damned with that. So I can't really understand that strategy. Trabzon's doing what Trabzon does. So how do you feel? How do you feel about this? Are you all upset and stressed out about this?
Super upset. Tired of going through the same thing every year, like every single year. We always wait for the opportunity signings, which we call first out transfers at the end of the transfer window, right? The Champions League starts on September 15th. Plan is to bring in opportunity signings, first out transfers on the final day of transfer window. Have enough time to settle in. Agree on this, right? We
Sure.
won't be able to build chemistry squad in 1 week. That's not going to happen. We make sure that new players blend in properly. The cohesion between players and new players already in place before the season starts.
Very
So I'm worried about it. Making the long story short, I'm kind of worried about it. Whenever fans make a fuss about it, the board's response is always different. Just clarify, Mr. President, Dursun Özbek, we won the title last year because Fenerbahce dropped stupid points. What chances this year?
I don't know. They drop stupid points every year. So
Last year was
they
different.
really do. All
So
right.
that's
So
my take on the transfer window.
So my opinion on this, today is July the 9th. It's 2 months more than 2 months until the Champions League starts. If you see all the transfers Besiktas has made, they should have made those. They finished a distant third. They were third, but a distant third. They need lots of players. They didn't transfer hardly anyone last year. So they're due. Fenerbahce, I'm not sure what they're doing. they got more foreign players for a team that can have 10 of them than I don't know what their plan is. So our team, if our team was a total rebuild, right, and we had holes everywhere, I would be concerned. But all we need really need is a number 10, another striker, a midfielder, and a central defender. These are what we really need these.
On
We
the
don't need
striker?
anything else. We don't need anything else.
Striker?
I said a striker. You're not listening to me. Open your ears up, Sir Khan.
No,
I
you
said
don't
striker.
you don't know. I'm listening. Don't you need another striker? I'm
I
not
said striker.
talking about two separate strikers, not one.
No, we need one.
Don't you
We
need
need
like
one.
three strikers?
You might want two. We need one. We went last season with basically a striker because Icardi and Osimhen were only healthy for maybe half the season together. And so
Well, today is July 9th, and you haven't even mind about Icardi's contract. Me.
that,
For,
that we know of, that we know of,
did he say yes? No? Do anything about it?
we don't. And okay,
What is our action item here? Let's say that he said no.
right.
Shouldn't we after strikers in the market right now?
I assume that they are. So just
I have
because they
seen
don't
rumors.
haven't signed them today doesn't mean they're not going after them. So I'm of the opinion when all of this is public, when the public knows who we're going after, that's bad for business. That makes them more expensive. That makes other teams come and get them. That's bad. I am enamored. I'm so happy that I don't know what's going on. I can't look at my phone and know exactly what the transfer strategy is. I think that's a good thing. If I don't know it, Fenerbahce doesn't know it. Besiktas doesn't know it. Trabzon doesn't know it. I don't think we as fans need to know everything. It's fun to be surprised. Don't you like it at Christmas when you open a present that you didn't ask for and you really like it? Isn't that great? Isn't that better than one you already knew what you were getting?
That's
Yes.
irrelevant. That's irrelevant. The Christmas gift is only like $50, maybe $100, but we're talking about 5
Uh,
million, 6 million, 60 million,
I
70 million.
I guess your wife gives you different presents than mine does.
Maybe that's the case. But Turkish rule, foreign rule that we have, at least we should be going after some Turkish talents.
I think we are, but remember,
Are they? Tell me, name a Turkish star that we're going after.
oh, I don't know.
I know because there's Turkish player that's in the market will be a good fit for our squad right now, other than Canuzum.
Well, then maybe we're not going after anybody else.
Not answer my question yet.
What's your question?
So, what is your transfer strategy? Wait until the last minute of the transfer window and whatever
No,
is
no.
left
You
over.
wait until you can agree to terms the players you want.
You're gonna miss other players as well. Let's say that you're going after a player, you want to buy a player, the other players are waiting. They're not gonna wait for you forever, right?
That's correct. I don't think that like Dursun Özbek and Abdullah, I don't think they got stupid overnight. Like, I truly don't think that they're trying to sabotage our season. I don't. I feel like they're trying to do exactly what we need to do to improve on what we did last year.
Not having a Champions League games just said would have made sense. But Champions League starts on September 15th, as I said
It's
before.
2 months.
But when are you gonna? You and I know that we're not gonna be able to make any transfers before this 15th.
I don't know that.
How come? Didn't we have a video on this last year?
I don't have a crystal ball that
You don't
lets me
have to have
predict
a
the future.
crystal ball to tell this. In our DNAs, we always wait until the last minute.
Not always. Sometimes we don't.
Exceptions like Sane, few other players, but future is not bright.
I don't know. One guy said that what does getting a strawberry transfer mean? Is a strawberry a
Schlecht transfer.
yeah?
This
Is
is
that
something
a
that are you probably remember him, the president from 2011 to 2013, Özhan Canaydın.
yeah? John Hyden.
Canaydın.
He
So he
coined this
came up
phrase?
with this. With a statement saying that the transfer Çilek transferi. That
Is
was
that
his
better
idea.
than Is that better than Patlıcan transfer?
Sweeter than patlıcan. So apparently, yeah.
Patlıcan is so good.
Well, patlıcan is not sweet though.
It's not. It's yummy though.
Yeah.
We, Ooh, so maybe this season we'll have Kunafeli transfers.
Like any strawberry transfers. I don't want like any opportunity signings. All I want is decent players.
We don't want decent players. We want Champions League level players. And so here's the thing. Since we don't have to transfer like 18 players, we can transfer a few players who are really, really good. But don't forget, mixed in this, we somehow have to get rid of players. But we don't know. So camp did open. We have players like Metahan. Can Metahan play? Is he good?
That is not to solve the problem here. You can send him as a loaner, or you can keep him in the team. You can sell him.
Well, so
He
right.
only
So
makes like 300, 400,000 euros a year. That's
right, but he's a Turk. So there's different elements to the transfer deal, right?
what
Camp
I'm saying. You're missing
camp
all the
open.
opportunities.
So camp
Turks are going to other teams. They're joining other teams. They're not
right.
coming to Gala right now. Right?
So did you want Salih Ozcan? Did you want Salih Ozcan?
Of course.
You did.
Why not? Don't you
Okay.
need another backup? He would have been a great fit. He only makes 2 million euros at Besiktas.
You think he wants to sit on the
He
bench?
would have signed us for less than 2.
So you think Salih Ozcan would sit on the bench?
Did he say that we needed some Turkish players? Is that right?
Right. So what?
And he plays for the Turkish national team. As much as I know, he'll be counted as a Turkish
those are
player.
the players we want. They're so good.
Right. He is. So his status is Turkish in the team. This is a great opportunity to fulfill your Turkish committee.
Exactly.
In the team.
Like Halil Dervisoglu. You said you wanted a third striker.
Oh
there
my
you go, baby.
goodness.
There's his Turkish destiny. I got some Turkish destiny for you, baby. Halil Dervisoglu. It is your destiny. Kazım John's back, baby.
Take him. But you know what's going to happen, right? We're going to sell him for less than $1 million to Başakşehir here.
Now, what about our boy?
Yellert?
Yellert's back, but he's a foreigner. What are we going to do with Yellert?
No business. First team, not even on the bench. Think about him. Just sell him.
We got to do something with him.
Something. I guess the problem is the foreign rule here. If we didn't have this rule, then I'm okay waiting longer than this. But now that we have this rule, to be quick, we gotta be acting those players that not sign any contracts with any other teams.
Do you wonder perhaps that our administration knows something that we don't? Do you think maybe they have? Do you think maybe there might be a chance this 10-4 rule is going to get changed and just none of us know it? That's one thing my brain said. The only reason they might be waiting is they might know we don't have to transfer and pay all these Turks money we don't want to pay. That's the only thing I can. So that's one thing out there.
We're suggesting is that we'll wait until the last minute and see if TFF changes that rule.
Oh, they could change it next week. I don't know. It's the TFF. They shoot first, aim later.
Too much from TFF.
Despite waiting till the last minute and all this stress they caused us, we've won 4 straight titles. We did good in the Champions League last year. We want to do better.
Raise the bar, right? Now we want to qualify for round 16, round 8 if we can.
8. Yeah, we want to go 8 this year. We want to take another step, round 8.
Well, 16. We got to do better this year. And we cannot wait until last minute. Cohesion between existing players must be in place before the season starts. I repeat myself here, but
5 weeks. That's a long time. 5 weeks is a long time.
Yes, then see.
Everybody be cool. Everybody be cool. We're going to get the transfer.
Super up.
I was so excited this morning. When the fixtures came out, the dead period's over. There's action now. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing. We're in the Galatasaray desert. Then jerseys come, schedule comes. So things are going good now.
Action is going to come after we make the transfers.
So that's the episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, give it a like. If you've watched several and you enjoy them, you might as well subscribe. And hadi, CimBom.